She said she was working late. Turns out she was sleeping with my colleague, the same guy who got me fired. I lost my job, my wife, my home, and they want me to smile through it? I, 34M, was working at a mid-sized tech company in Austin, Texas. Nothing huge, but good pay, great benefits, and I just finished leading a major infrastructure overhaul that saved our back-end team from months of downtime. People noticed. Or so I thought. My wife, Lisa, 31F, and I had been married for 5 years. We met at a coding boot camp, though she later switched into marketing. She landed a job at a local ad agency, while I stayed in software. We had a decent 2-bedroom condo in Round Rock, no kids yet, but we were talking about trying soon. Lisa had always been driven. She hated inefficiency, hated laziness, and always pushed both of us to grow. It was one of the things I loved most about her, until I realized what that actually meant. Back at work, I was being considered for a lead role. It wasn't guaranteed, but my manager, Ben, 38M, had dropped some very clear hints. When you're leading the next sprint cycle, he'd say, or, you should start thinking like an architect. That kind of stuff. There was just one wild card. Trevor, 32M. Same team, same title as me. He'd only been with the company for a year, but he was slick, flashy presentations, over-the-top energy, always staying late or pretending to. I didn't mind at first, until I realized he was undermining me. He'd make passive comments in meetings, not sure that's scalable, but maybe I'm missing something, and then send a Slack DM later saying, all good man, just playing devil's advocate. Lisa had met him once at the company's spring mixer. She said he was charming, kind of fake, but smooth, she laughed. I agreed. We joked about his constant blazers and obnoxious watch collection. That was the last time we joked about Trevor. 2 weeks before the promotion was supposed to be announced, I got pulled into a surprise HR meeting. Allegations. Toxic behavior. Undermining coworkers. Intimidating junior devs. Insubordination. I was stunned. They said there were multiple reports, all anonymous, and that they had to suspend me pending investigation. My access was revoked that afternoon. My email deactivated. I texted Lisa from the parking lot. Something's wrong. I think I just got set up. Her reply, don't jump to conclusions. Come home. When I got home that evening, I didn't know it was waiting in the living room, already knew, wine glass in hand. Her eyes were puffy, but not red. I noticed immediately. Did they tell you why? She asked, like she didn't already know. Some BS about anonymous complaints. None of it's true. Someone's trying to sabotage me. She bit her lip and nodded slowly. That sucks, babe. You've been working so hard. She came over and hugged me, but it felt robotic. Her hand tapped my back like I was a client, not a husband. That night, she was distant. She went to bed early, said she had an early meeting. I couldn't sleep. My mind kept circling back to work, to Trevor. Something didn't feel right. The next morning, I opened her laptop. I'd never done that before. But something inside me, a gut instinct, took over. Slack was still open. She'd forgotten to log out. And that's when I saw it. Trevor's name. Over and over. Messages. Inside jokes. Photos. Late-night complaints about me. Jokes about how he still doesn't know. Her calling him T. Him calling her L. I felt sick. The worst part? This had been going on for months. They'd started chatting after that spring mixer. It escalated. There were hotel bookings, flights, screenshots, even a private Slack channel just for them titled Night Sprints. And then a message from 2 days ago. Trevor, you still on track to tell him after the HR call? Lisa, yes. He'll figure it out eventually. Just easier this way. I sat back in my chair, heart pounding. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I took screenshots, saved the entire conversation log, backed up the drive. I didn't say anything that day. Not yet. I wanted to catch them in person. I waited until Friday. Lisa always worked from home Fridays, and Trevor had a habit of swinging by our condo before his supposed late meetings. That afternoon, I parked my car 2 blocks away, took a rideshare back to the building, and buzzed into the lobby with my old code, which still worked. I walked slowly up the stairwell to avoid making noise. Our bedroom blinds were cracked just enough. And there he was, Trevor, sitting on my side of the bed, shoes off, laughing. Lisa was lying next to him in yoga pants and a sweatshirt, my sweatshirt. I could hear snippets through the wall as I stepped closer to the door. He'll move on eventually, she was saying. Trevor. By then, we'll be out of town anyway. I'm not staying in Austin forever. Lisa. I just don't want to deal with drama. He's already on edge. I didn't knock. I walked in. Lisa gasped, dropping her phone. Trevor jumped to his feet. Jesus. What the? How did you? I live here. Or, did you forget? Lisa opened her mouth, but no sound came out. I pulled out a folder from my jacket, printouts of every message, every photo, every Slack log. You weren't careful, I said, tossing it onto the bed. You wanted to make it easier? You're going to explain this to my lawyer. Trevor started to speak, but I cut him off. You reported me, didn't you? His face went pale. You made up anonymous complaints. That HR meeting? That was you. And Lisa helped you time it perfectly. Lisa stepped forward. Please just listen. I didn't want it to go this way. You've been distant and… No. You don't get to gaslight me now. Not after what I've seen. You're not sorry you cheated. You're sorry I found out. I walked out. That night I filed for divorce. But it wasn't over. Not even close. Because the next week, Trevor's promotion was announced. And so was Lisa's pregnancy. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Lisa didn't fight the divorce, not immediately. But once her pregnancy was confirmed, she hired a new attorney and started playing the family rights card. Suddenly, her tone shifted from remorseful to manipulative. She deserves stability, her lawyer wrote. Emotional distress from the sudden abandonment of the marriage could impact her pregnancy. Abandonment? She cheated. Lied. Conspired with my coworker to destroy my reputation. But now I was the threat? I shared the Slack logs, the emails, even the screenshots of her messages planning the setup. My lawyer said it would help, but the pregnancy complicated everything. Meanwhile, word had spread in the office. A former coworker reached out. Hey man, I heard what happened. Just know a bunch of us didn't believe that HR crap. Apparently, Trevor had already started shifting blame. He told people I had a breakdown, that I lashed out when passed over for promotion. I couldn't get another job. Word gets around in tech, especially in Austin. My name was quietly blacklisted. With mounting legal bills, I had to move in with my brother across town. My condo? Lisa stayed. She claimed it was unsafe for her to move while pregnant. Trevor moved in with her. The same bed. Same sheets. Same kitchen I remodeled with my hands. Now his. One afternoon, I went back with a police escort to collect the rest of my things. Lisa didn't look at me. Trevor stayed upstairs. As I packed boxes in silence, I saw it. A printed ultrasound, pinned to the fridge with a magnet I'd brought back from our honeymoon in Maui. Due date, March 22nd. A sticky note on it. Our little bean. Can't wait to meet you. T. I didn't say a word. I just walked out. But I wasn't done. Not yet. Because while they'd taken everything from me, I still had one card to play. I'd kept a backup of everything. Not just messages and logs. I had screen recordings of the Slack channel. Photos. Metadata. Even the time-stamped hotel bookings made from our joint credit card. And I had a friend. Julia. She used to work in the same company, but had since moved to a rival firm in Houston. She owed me a favor from way back when I recommended her for a senior dev role. I sent her the files. She called me the next morning, voice tight, with controlled rage. Jesus, this is a war crime in HR terms. They set you up. I know. Give me a week. She didn't explain what she meant. But 5 days later, an anonymous Medium post appeared. Tech bro gets promotion by torpedoing coworker with help from affair partner, and HR played along. It was explosive, detailed, documented, and horrifying. It exposed the culture of favoritism, toxic manipulation, and HR's complicity in my takedown. Names were redacted, but anyone in the Austin tech scene could connect the dots. The story went viral on LinkedIn, then Reddit, then Hacker News. Recruiters who had ghosted me reached out suddenly. Journalists sent emails asking for interviews. Former coworkers started commenting, "I knew it," and "he was always a snake." 3 days later, Trevor stepped down from his role. HR claimed it was unrelated. Then, my old manager was suddenly on sabbatical. Lisa's ad agency put her on indefinite leave, citing reputation risk.
And me?
I had my first job offer in months. A remote position. Double the pay. I didn't respond right away. Instead, I sent a text to Lisa. "I told you I'd figure it out." She didn't reply. But the next morning, she called. Crying. Angry. Confused. "You humiliated me. Our child is going to grow up seeing this trash online. You think this helps anyone?"
No.
But it's the truth. You're bitter. You've always been bitter.
No, Lisa.
I was loyal. You just never noticed. 2 weeks after the post went viral, I was sitting in my brother's kitchen sipping coffee when I got an unexpected call. It was Ben. He sounded exhausted. "Hey, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but can I talk to you? Man to man." I didn't respond right away. I need to explain what happened. HR gave me no choice. It was either let it happen quietly or risk exposure myself. There was pressure from the board. I didn't handle it right. "No, Ben," I said. "You betrayed me, and you let a snake manipulate you into burning one of your best engineers. Don't act like you were a victim."
He sighed.
Fair enough. I was about to hang up when he dropped the bomb. "Lisa's asking around about shared custody. She's claiming you were emotionally abusive, and she's worried about future co-parenting." I froze. "She's building a narrative," he added, "and Trevor's feeding it." I knew what that meant. Lisa had lost face. She needed to regain control. That same day, I got an email from Lisa's attorney requesting a meeting about a co-parenting framework. I declined. Instead, I filed an official response with the court, citing emotional manipulation, betrayal, and reputational sabotage. I included documents, witnesses, and copies of her messages planning the HR attack. It didn't take long. The judge saw through it. Lisa was reprimanded for weaponizing custody and warned that continued behavior could jeopardize her parental rights. Lisa sent me one final text. "You think you're noble, but you're just cruel. Our child will hate you for this." I didn't reply. Months passed. I moved into my own apartment.
Got the new job. Found my footing again. Slowly.
I stayed away from everything that reminded me of Lisa. Restaurants we'd loved, friends who didn't take sides, even old social media accounts. Then came the certified letter. It was from Lisa's attorney. Again. She'd given birth. A baby girl. Her name, Ava Grace. She wanted me to be listed on the birth certificate. Not as the father, but as an emergency guardian, should something happen to her or Trevor. The audacity. I hadn't spoken to Lisa in months. Hadn't seen her since the day I left the condo. Now she wanted to hand me a legal responsibility for a child that wasn't mine? I rejected the petition. Formally. My lawyer added a clause barring future requests of similar nature. A week later, I got a message. From Lisa. No threats. No anger. Just a photo. Ava, sleeping. Peaceful. Innocent. And the text. "She looks just like you. I thought you should see." I stared at the screen for a long time. Not because I believed her, but because for the first time I realized Ava was just a child. A victim like me, born into betrayal, raised by liars. I didn't respond, but I saved the photo. Not for Lisa, not for Trevor.
For me.
As a reminder of who I used to be, and how far I'd come. Sometimes the people closest to us, the ones we trust with our homes, our hearts, and our futures, are the ones who tear it all apart. But even in betrayal, there's power. The power to walk away.
To heal.
To rebuild. If this story struck a chord with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you loved or worked with? We want to hear your story. And if you found this journey powerful or relatable, please give this video a like. Subscribe to our channel for more real-life Reddit confessions, and hit that bell icon so you never miss the next one. Until next time, stay strong, stay honest, and remember, healing begins with truth.